We're live.
Third time lucky.
That's all you're getting out of me this afternoon.
Yeah, it's just frustrating
Just
that
there'll be no insight.
it's just frustrating that you can't get any laughs out of anyone for that, because
Yeah.
that's pure comedy gold right there.
We can imagine it, right?
DJ, you in?
I'm here, mate. Can you hear me?
Oh, he's live.
Oh, he's live.
Coming to you live from Bondi, where it all began.
Yeah, beauty. How's your chest hair looking?
Yeah, it's still pretty solid.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Beautiful. That's what the people are here for.
That's what they came for. No, honestly, but I'm glad that we didn't get it in the chest hair in the photo, because I'm still trying to figure out my facial hair, and I think if if we had you flexing your chest hair like that, I'd get a little bit insecure.
Yeah.
I think
Off to a good start.
Well, technically we haven't started yet. We still got 3 minutes.
Just working out the kinks.
Yeah.
How'd you go today? Any action?
Me?
Yeah.
No, not really. Just I was up smalls, up $200 or something after com. Yeah, just stayed fairly out of it this morning. As I tend to do, I get a little bit excited in the arvo and this is obviously something we can touch on a little bit more over the next half hour or so. But I kind of, if I have been patient throughout the day, I kind of try to reward. I like to reward myself by getting involved.
Go for trend to close in about five different spots.
Yeah. Just then, as the market was winding down, in the last 10 minutes, I think I tried to buy MCR late, and then I tried to short that BBT pop. It literally in the last 15 minutes. So I just and that was after I'd sat there and done nothing for maybe 3 hours. So I was like, oh yeah, you've been a good boy. You can get involved. Yeah. Luckily, I didn't do any damage. I lost a tiny little bit, but finished green on the day, which I just wanted to finish green on the day, because I've started to build back some momentum of late, and I literally just, Fridays haven't been real good for me, so I literally just wanted to finish green. Didn't really matter how much it was.
Head into the weekend without being pissed off if you had a shocker or something.
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 days I've had have been solid, and I just wanted to not give any back. That was the goal today, not give any back.
Yeah.
And I did that, so I'm happy.
Nice. That was my goal too, but got a bit excited in Zip this morning for no reason, really.
Yeah, right. How'd you play it?
DJ favourite Zip?
Tried shorting it early, twice.
Yeah.
Just kind of small cuts both times, but still adds up. And then I'm moving house at the moment, so I kind of just have been moving with my other housemates the rest of the day, so that kept me out of trouble from trading in the arvo, at least. But
yeah, right, okay. So you didn't go back to it after that?
Nah, I wasn't at the screen all arvo, so.
Well, it's good. It's actually good when you can, have that forced kind of time out sometimes.
Yeah, especially after an average morning. Otherwise, you might feel like you need to force something to try and make it back or whatever. But
yeah.
It wasn't really much out there today compared to the rest of this week. It was pretty awesome. So
yeah, 100%. And I just felt just a little bit more choppy, a little bit thinner today. So I think probably a good thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting to stay out.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking oath. Well, I think we might get it going, get into it, because we've all got heaps of shit to do later tonight. So the quicker we punch this out, the better. I didn't. I actually didn't. I didn't think about this until we are about to jump on this call. But I think, like a lot of people maybe listening at home probably follow us, obviously. But I think maybe not everyone knows everyone. So I don't know. Should we like just say hello and who we are and what we do, just to give everyone a bit of context?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really plan for this. Sorry, I just put this on you.
Tell us about yourself.
So yeah, Chris, tell me about your PhD in memeing.
What's your favourite colour?
Yeah, Chris, do you want to set it off?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, I've been at it since November 2019. I pretty much got into trading. I grew up in Sydney, worked in Sydney. My wife's originally from Lake Macquarie in Newcastle.
Yep.
Wanted to move back up this way, so I was looking for something to do.
Yep.
And yeah, basically saw the S&B stuff online, chat with traders.
Yeah.
Thought this might be all right. And yeah, here we are, almost 2 years later, and I'm half decent at it. So yeah.
Very modest.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool, like that. Yeah, it was by design, and I guess fits perfectly with like living up there and just kind of needing to have a little bit more time to yourself to be able to, pull that move off and, just help get settled in up there. Obviously, whatever you're doing, building a house, etc. But it just kind of fits perfectly in with, what what you've had to do over the last couple of years. So yeah, it's fucking dope.
Yeah, in hindsight, I wouldn't have moved in with him anymore for a year while I did it. Was probably a bad idea, but apart from that, it's been pretty good. I just mother-in-law's retired, like nephews and nieces around all the time. It's a bit of a madhouse when you're trying to calm down, focus it before the market opens. So, but now it's in space. So yeah.
When we mic up Chris to chat pre-market and can hear your dog going absolutely batshit in the background.
He's a good boy.
He's a great boy. He's got crazy eyes, though. I can confirm.
He fucking hates the postman and anything else. Birds, fucking people walking their dogs outside.
Yeah.
Apart from that, though, good dog.
Beauty. All right,
yeah,
DG.
So that's me.
DG, talk to us. Give me something.
Mate, so I left university and worked for Ernst & Young in actuarial services.
Yeah.
Hated it, sort of, standard corporate, a bit boring. But me and my mate were working on punting stuff on the side, sort of like doing statistical modeling to basically try, beat the market. And we were decent at that. So we quit our jobs. I think we were like 24 to bet full time.
Yep.
Did the punting full time until COVID hit. And when COVID hit, sort of like just to kill time really, because I was at home bored, like no sport was on. I think I'd come across Nick's Twitter.
Yep.
I'd just seen him on there and I'm like, oh, that guy, seems to be making $5,000 a day on stocks. That sounds pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So, then sort of, the standard, listen to Chat with Traders, Bryce, Nick, SMB stuff.
Yep.
And just pretty much just gave it a try. Didn't have any clue really what I was doing. My other mate who punts full time as well, gave it a go as well. So we were sort of trying to figure it out. Then I think I spoke to Chris on Twitter a bit and he sort of started giving me a hand. And then he introduced me to the Signet trading chat room. So I met a bunch of other traders through there. And sort of that's when I found my feet a bit once I, had some guys to help me out with even just picking what stocks to watch each day. I had no idea sort of thing. And then started punting again when sport came back. But with all the COVID muck around, I found didn't have that much faith in them sort of using a statistical model when there was no crowds. Teams are all living away from home. And like AFL, they changed the length of the games and that. So I ended up sacking the punting last year.
Yeah.
Just like the trading was going okay, and yeah, decided to just stick to the trading and not worry about the punting. Keep my weekends free to relax and not sort of have the stress of having some fuckwit drop a football and cost you 5 figures at the end of a game or something.
Yeah, what a cunt.
Yeah, but that's about it, really. I did have a tiny bit of market experience. I worked in options trading when I was 27 for about a year at a market maker.
Yeah.
So I had a little bit of experience, but trading options, you're really just trading like market volatility. You don't take an opinion on the direction of the stock, really. So I didn't actually know anything like, setups wise in terms of deltas, but just had some sort of market experience from that.
Yeah.
Which, definitely helped. Didn't hurt.
And so how far in did you start talking to the Signet guys?
Maybe after 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah.
So I was sort of just trading tiny and sort of losing a few $100 a week or a day or something.
Yeah, just that's pretty handy to get onto them guys at that time, because that's still relatively early on, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think then it was June, so obviously we had buy now pay later, Flight Centre, all the travel stuff. So
yeah.
I think June was the first month I made some money and was sort of this is all right.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't from skill though. It was just from Zip moving $2 a day.
Yeah, fucking oath. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, groovy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess I'll just probably say a little bit about me. My name's Sav. I'm a day trader. I've been doing it about 2.5 years now. I am do it full time. Love it. Actually, love hate relationship, but mainly love. And yeah, also I don't know. I kind of like this side of it as well. Kind of I guess in the trading community, there's people there's people doing it and talking about it. There's people just doing it, and there's people that are just talking about it. As in, there's followers, kind of trying to get inside information or trying to learn from people who are doing it, and then there's people who are kind of doing it, and then people who are doing it and talking about it. I really like this side of it where I can talk about it and just kind of open up and just kind of obviously on the podcast just talk about trading and what inspires people and what moves people and what motivates people, unpacking stuff and just kind of, just trying to level up my own awareness, psychology, mental toughness, all that kind of stuff. I'm really interested in all that. So, yeah. So I think this kind of chat, that's just a bit about me, but this chat kind of was inspired by, I think the other day, Chriso, you were running my stats, and they were really interesting because it basically showed something that was a bit. Carlos has requested. So guys, Carlos, we'll do questions at the end, man. We'll just have a bit of a chat and then we'll jump into some questions at the end. But yeah, Chriso, you ran my stats the other day, and they were pretty interesting because it showed that I basically had a bit of an issue with revenge trading, and an average losing day turned into a very serious losing day pretty quickly based on the amount of trades I took, to the tune of my average losing trade would end up kind of really blowing out by the end of the day. And what I kind of gathered from that is that if I was losing in the morning, I was not managing my emotions through the middle and the end of the day. And I think from that conversation and that chat and seeing those statistics, I was like, okay, well, this would be a great thing to talk about and open up about and really dive into. So I reached out to you, and then you were like, yeah, maybe we can have a bit of a chat on Spaces, and fuck it, we'll get DG involved, and everyone's at home. We're all in lockdown. Let's have a few beers. So that's basically where we are now. Chris, what did you think about those stats when you brought them up of mine?
Yeah, they were pretty interesting. Can you hear
me? Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want to talk about them specifically? Then, maybe what you kind of look for and what you gathered from them.
Yeah, so like the first thing that like jumped out at me looking at them was first, or the obvious thing, zip, being 22% of the number of trades you took, and about 41% of the turnover, all in this one stock. So.
So that's in. So just to give people context, that's in the last. So it's 3.5 months, isn't it? The sample size.
Start of March.
Yeah.
March, April, May, June, July, 4.5 months.
Yeah, 4.5 months. Jesus.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I mean that was obviously interesting, and then number 2 on the list, web, at 7% of turnover and 4% of the trades. Like the thing that jumped out at me for that is like, why is he trading it so much? Like, yes, it's been in play, but like there hasn't been 200 times it's set up for a trade. So and obviously ended up negative on it as well. So kind of like says
not worth
trading it. Yeah. And then the other thing was I think we split out the result by the trade based on what trade it was for the day. So first trade, second trade, third trade, to look at whether you're getting off to a good start or not. And found those first few trades of the day summed up to be quite negative. So kind of like jumping into things when there isn't really an edge there. Which, I mean, given the time frame we're looking at, isn't really surprising, given the market really, dropped off from what it was doing in February and before that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know that's something that I've struggled with as well, just jumping into match trades thinking like, there's a wall to lean on, bang, the wall's gone, and then 5-10 ticks. Whereas before all that stuff was working. So,
but I think out of those stats, the thing that was probably the most interesting, like, look, if you're negative after 3 trades or whatever, it's and the market's a bit tough. You can kind of deal with that. But then when you looked at like, after 4 and 5 trades, how much worse it got, like the difference between the first X amount of trades and then the result by the end of the day, to me that just screamed of like revenge trading. Like I was just getting crazy. I was just getting especially towards the end of the day, if I felt like I was running out of time, like inverted commas, I would just kind of like jump into stuff and hope for the best. And I think just like, especially in the last 3.5 months, it just hasn't been there as much. Those trend to close and those Arvo breakout type trades, they just haven't been there. So trying to wait for them to like save my day, so to speak, just hasn't eventuated like that. And I could have saved myself like a fuckload of money if I'd have just like sat on my hands after being negative post 3 trades. I thought that shit was like very, very interesting. And I think probably the main reason that I wanted to have this chat.
Yeah, cool. What do you think for you, drives that? Do you like, what kind of mindset are you in when you get off to a bad start?
Yeah, so I and DG, you'll probably be able to speak about this as well. Like, I think that a lot of the mindset that I kind of tap into has come off of the back of a really, really good 18 months. I think the success that a lot of us had over the last 18 months when the conditions were there has skewed my kind of understanding of what average looks like. Like I go into things thinking, all right, well, I'm going to fucking hit a home run here. I'm going to hit a home run here. I'm going to hit a home run here. And when that doesn't eventuate, I haven't had the kind of mental aptitude to kind of like adjust. I haven't had the strength in character to kind of go, oh wait, maybe it's not here. I think that's really been the issue for me in these last 3 months, just that lack of adjustment. and that lack of like, just really understanding where the fuck I am and not being swayed by the last 18 months of results. I think that's the thing, just being too results orientated, looking at what has happened, not looking at what is happening, not looking at what conditions I'm dealing with today. Yeah.
Do you think it's more of an awareness thing where you like I shouldn't be doing this and you still end up doing it, or is it more
totally.
Yeah,
I know I shouldn't be doing it, but it's I think it's like I talk to Fab about this fairly frequently. Like I have this I have my instincts, right? We all have instincts. My instincts over my entire life, I have trained them to stay silent in a way, in a sense that, like, when my instincts would pop up and try to like, say for a good example is like, should I have this pie or should I just like go for that jog, or should I have this beer or should I just like, chill out and not have a drink right now? My instincts have been trained over my 20s and maybe my late teens to go, or my conscience has been trained to go no to those instincts, right? So when my instincts would pop up and go, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that, maybe we shouldn't do that, I've trained myself to go no and go for the quick fix, go for the easy option. So and when you're talking about like, one beer or one pie or, not going for one jog as a standalone thing, it's not that big of a deal. But then when you kind of like take it into the context of like, all right, now you've got like 15,000 units of zip short, or like, now you've got 25,000 units of web, and it starts to really add up. It starts to become a problem. And this small thing that you like haven't addressed properly in your managing of your intuition or your instincts now is a big thing. It's like not a small thing anymore. And it's really played out in the last 3 months, because prior to that, in the 18 months before that, I could make those bad decisions, but there would always be a catalyst. There'd always be enough volatility in the market to make up for it, to kind of like, see me get green by the end of the day. And that's just hasn't been there in the last 3 months. The bad decision is not being cancelled out by a good opportunity, so to speak. So
yeah, I definitely get that. Like, a lot of the opportunity's been in that first 30 minutes or first hour. And if, you make one or two poor decisions, you either have to walk away or, it starts to snowball because the opportunities just aren't there.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, like on that, Sav, I can like 100% relate to what you're saying about the market sort of bailed you out.
Yeah.
Like I've got my stats in front of me. So I kind of tag trades where I say basically there wasn't a clear thesis. It wasn't like really a setup. It was probably a bit impulsive.
Yeah.
And like I just call them non-playbook / like poor process.
Yeah.
And February was my best month ever, but it was the month I lost the most in dollars on those poor process trades. Right. So like you could just spray bullets in February and like,
and you'd hit something.
Yeah. I think like March I started struggling because you stop kind of getting bailed out and you go, oh wait, I'm just spraying all these bullets, and then you're not getting some piece of shit spec like run 30% into the close to bail you out.
Yeah.
And it sort of shone a light on the fact that like I was over trading like a maniac.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of what I've been trying to work on, is like stopping anything impulsive where I sort of don't have some sort of plan and I didn't think about it pre-market.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, like I think I'm a better trader now than I was in February, but I'm not obviously making the money I was in February. But yeah, you're kind of a product of the market you're in as well.
Yeah, totally. Well, there's that who put up that in the chat the other day of like it's a graph of like, idiots and money, or like mastery and money, and it's like, like idiots, like, I mean, I'm not saying we're idiots. I'm not saying anyone's an idiot. Everyone's beautiful and lovely. but it's like, you know, the less you know, the more you make kind of thing. And then there's a period where like you kind of learn more and then you make less until you finally reach mastery. So I know that didn't make any sense, but
yeah, you kind of end up in that zone where you think you're too smart for your own good, where you think like, oh, you know,
yeah.
This is a fraud. I shouldn't buy it. Where you going? Well,
yeah, exactly,
it's a fraud,
exactly.
so I should be buying it.
Yeah, I think like you know, I kind of got lucky that I didn't know enough to stop me from getting into the things that would actually make me money for like a big chunk of the last 18 months. So, you know, that the fact that I was green more often than not probably cushioned me or blinded me to the fact that I was probably not in the right stuff, or definitely not in the right trades. You know, like you were saying, DG. Dan, how have you found that adjustment?
So the past few months, I think I battled in March, just coming off that, you know, crazy February where you know, everything was going nuts.
Yeah.
Then I had a really good April where I think I got my trades per day down from 13 to 6. So I kind of cut out a lot of junk.
Yeah.
And really, I was just focusing on quarterlies and like decent catalysts each day. So at the end of April, I was probably like a bit overconfident, thinking like, oh, you know, I've really, really got this thing made now.
Yeah.
And then I think May started well with like NEA on that lawsuit thing. There was like, you know, a few good days in that. But then since then, it sort of, turned into a bit more of a battle where like my main thing is if there's a day where there isn't like, you know, a quality catalyst pre-market, I'll have maybe 2 or 3 sort of half catalyst stocks up, and like I'll just take a trade and then where I look back and I don't even know what I was really trying to do. Yeah. And like half the time I'll take it in smaller size than something I'm confident in, and you might lose $300 or $400, but like if you do that twice a day for a month, that's 10 or 15 grand in, you know, paper cuts. And then if you're not hitting a home run, you know, every few days to sort of level it out, it kind of adds up. I found like the past 2 weeks, there's been a few more catalysts, so it's been helpful. Like generally, if there's a really good catalyst, I find I do best, but I only focus on that. Like I don't try watch 5 things. Yeah, like this week, you know, just watch it when it has its quarterly. Just watch Kogan when it has its quarterly. Don't try watch 3 things. Like and do 3 things poorly. Like it's better to just do one thing really well. Yeah. So I found like that's helped me the past few weeks. Just sort of start chipping away in the right direction again.
Do you feel like a little bit? Do you feel a little bit like enough is enough in terms of because I know you posted last night the little bit of a drawdown, you know, trying to kind of find your feet again. Do you feel like you've kind of got to that point where you're like enough is enough? I need to like, you know, cut out those, you know, non playbook trades or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. And I did feel like one thing. When you're in drawdown, like if that's all you're focused on, like I need to get out of drawdown, I kind of realize that's just bullshit. Like,
yeah, fucking nice. Yeah.
Like your job as a trader is to like, you know, make as much money as you can with the opportunity set you get each week.
Yeah.
So yeah, like 2 weeks ago, I was like, just be green this week. It doesn't matter what it is, but like I don't need to make back a 20 grand drawdown in one trade or one day or 1 week, but just be green this week, making good trades.
Yeah.
And like had an okay week. Then this week the same, be green this week, making good trades. Had like another okay week. And then like it, you need to be more forward looking, I think, than like kind of thinking about that drawdown number or anything like that.
Yeah.
So just focusing on like each day, trying to make one good trade really has helped a lot. Like not putting pressure on myself to make 50 grand this month because like I know it's not going to happen.
Totally. It is obviously the biggest cliche that we hear and see like all the time, you know, the one good trade thing, but it is the realest thing that any one of us could do, is just to focus on that one, do it as good as we can, and then move on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like whenever you get into that mindset of like, I need to make money, like for whatever reason it is, it always ends up blowing up in your face.
Yeah, fucking earth. Yep.
I was also thinking, like, for me, I was quite fortunate in that I started trading a few months before COVID hit. So I was kind of used to, like, I started in like November, December when the market was really quiet.
Yep.
So like, as we came into this period now, I was kind of like, well, I was a bit, you know, I had that experience, even though it was pretty limited, to realize that, you know, I should take my foot off the pedal and be a bit more defensive instead of what it had been like in February, January, and before that.
Yep.
You know, for you, Sav, was similar kind of mindset, or?
I'm just like, I don't want to. No, I mean, look,
because you know what it was like before.
I do, yeah. Well, I was trading from
shit moved every day.
I was trading from September 2018. So I'd got to see it enough. Like, I'd got to see plenty of what it looked like before that. But I actually almost threw in the towel in January for trading, because I you know, some of the stuff that I'm dealing with now, that, you know, the management of emotions and the lack of the lack of you know, what did DG say a second ago? Just thinking about the future and actually putting in, you know, just planning stuff out, being forward looking. You know, like I had always struggled with that, and it's a very big. It's a demon that I have, that I deal with, and it's a product of a past life of mine. It's a product of, you know, emotional mismanagement and a lack of discipline that I've had to deal with, like, that I've kind of had as a part of me for a really long time. So it actually got to the point where I almost threw in the towel in January, just before COVID, because I was just so sick of, like, losing, and I was working a full-time job and trading in the morning, and shit was fucking real rough. So yeah, I didn't have that discipline leading into COVID. It's just that the volatility kind of like started to patch up or cover up some of those deficiencies that I had. But Chris, it's something that I've always, like, you know, totally admired of yours, is your ability to just not take any trades on a day. Like, where do you think that comes from?
I think, like,
have you always been like that?
No, like, I'm a pretty undisciplined person, like, you know.
Are we talking about the seven Asahis on your desk right now?
There's only two at the moment.
Is he up to 7 Asahis already?
I snuck off for one while you were chatting, Sav, so, you know, keeping a steady pace. I think it comes out of necessity. Like, for me, it's like, this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, so I need to succeed at it. So there's that. But, like, I think that I've always been, you know, pretty conservative in the way I go about it. Like, when I started out, I was like, well, I need to preserve my capital and make this work for me, so I'm only going to risk this, you know, small amount relative to what I started with.
Yep.
And to an extent, I think that, you know, like, I've been fairly consistent for a long time now, and I think, like, I'm probably at the point where I need to start pushing that size. But in the back of my mind, I've always got this fear that, you know, if I put myself in a big drawdown or take a big loss, then maybe I'll end up at this place where I'm not going to be in the position where I can keep trading. So, you know, it's probably the opposite of what you guys go through.
Yeah. And what's your, like, as a hypothetical, like, a couple of steps ahead, what if you don't get to trade? What is the, like, what's the worst possible outcome?
Like, for me, I've joked about it with my wife before. Like, I don't see myself, like, not trading. Like, I'd be borrowing money off mum and dad or her parents to give it another go. It'd have to be like, It'd have to be, I feel like it'd have to get pretty bad to get to a point where I wasn't going to be doing it.
Yeah.
Well,
what do you think? Is there anything that you're kind of is there any way that you're trying to address that mental kind of like speed bump in terms of sizing up and really going to that next level for yourself?
I feel like it's only like the last couple of weeks I've really gotten to a place where I understand like what's behind it driving it, because I've said it like to the guys a few times, like I should be doing this, I should do that. I got this consistency, should be taking more risks, and then it just like it happens to an extent, but compared to where I was probably 12 months ago, like average win, average loss, maybe twice what I was doing back then. So it's been a pretty slow progression. So for me, it's trying to understand, I sit there a lot of the time thinking like, what's the worst possible outcome? And it's for me like, oh, well, what's the probability of that actually happening? And if it happened, what would it actually mean? And it's really not that bad, right? So it's just getting comfortable with that and just pushing through it. So I think coming into reporting season gives me a big opportunity to try and push more size. So
yeah, like on that. Yeah, like me and Chris talk about this a lot, and I think like you can think of the worst thing that can happen, like, oh, that wall goes, and I have to hit that third one 15 cents away. And like if that happens, it'll be $3,000. But like Chris said, like the probability of that might be 1 in 20, but then the probability of the trade working and going twice or 3 times as much in your favor might be 20%. The probability of it scratching might be 30%. So kind of when you think about the expectation of stuff, it kind of like worst case will happen every now and then, but it's not going to happen every time. So you just got to like take it in perspective, I guess.
Yeah, and you can't trade from a place where you're thinking what's the worst outcome, right? Because it just doesn't work that way. You just, if the odds are in your favor, you need to be taking the trade.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, beauty. So I think we might push along to a couple of these dot points that we dropped in the chat earlier, and then we'll talk a little bit around them, and then maybe open it up for a couple of questions, eh?
Sounds good.
Chris, you got your ADN frequently asked questions ready to go?
I've been told we can't talk about that.
Yeah, copy that. So the point that one of the points here is perfect morning routine versus poor morning routine, and what does that look like, and how do you adjust for each? Because I think you can like have a great morning leading in, and maybe get a little bit too overconfident, and then you can have a really poor morning leading in, have no expectations, but then actually trade well because you're trading what's in front of you. So yeah, I guess probably what does a great morning routine look like? What's a poor morning routine look like, and how do they both affect you?
Yeah, so like for me, a good morning routine is just basically being across like all the opportunities that are available. So, reading all the ASX announcements, all your other sources, and then basically narrowing down on what you think are the best opportunities for the morning. And then kind of that 9:45, 9:50 window, just being calm, knowing what you want to see to actually take a trade.
Yeah.
And then just waiting for it to play out. And then the opposite of that is basically, just not being present, having your mind somewhere else. Like an example for me, it was like, something to do with the house that we were building. I'm like raging 9:50, firing off emails, nothing to do with trading. and then fucking just getting wrecked on the open, and I'm just fucking fuming.
Exploding at local
you're
council,
a fucking dickhead. Yeah, the glorious council.
So unnecessary.
Yeah, and then you're like, why couldn't it fucking wait? Kind of thing. So yeah, just polar opposites, right? Like just being calm, collected, knowing what you need to do, waiting to see it, and then the other side of it, just not being present.
I think that's the word right there, being present. Like, it doesn't take much to knock you off your game. And literally, and especially when we're dealing with like micro movements, like we're talking about like, micro movements in a book or whatever, and then the whole structure or outcome or context of your trade can change, in a blink of an eye. And if you're not present, if you're not switched on, if you're not zoned in, not dialed in, like you can miss that shit. And it could be the difference between breaking even one day or being in the hole.
And just like being, calm and collected, knowing what you're meant to do. Because if you're doing what you're meant to do, even if it doesn't work out and you lose money, then you're like, well, it was the right trade. But if you're not present, lose money, you're like, well, fuck this. I'm just going to throw it, have a swing at this and that, and then dig yourself a hole. Snowballs,
Yeah, bloody oath. What about? So, because I kind of just made that up on the fly. The whole like idea of like having a perfect morning and then feeling like you're in the zone and you're going to hit everything. And I don't know if that's something that you ever feel, but or when the opportunity set is like really large or wide, almost being like too dialed in. Is that a thing? Is that possible?
Yeah, like I get that. Like you're kind of like too amped up. Like I'm ready to go. Like
feeling good.
Versus,
there's all these catalysts.
Market's moving. I'm going to swing.
I think the one that does it is like when the market when Wall Street kind of like the lead in is like just like there's a bloodbath or something like that, and then you wake up and you're like, oh fuck yeah, like I'm gonna I'm just gonna fucking hit this, hit that. But then it like the other day it just bounced like a motherfucker and nothing really. I didn't really get anything out of it.
Buy the fucking dip.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that as well. Like you get a strong lead in, you think there's going to be action, but like a lot of the time it could just gap and chop or gap and bounce back. It's not like really a clean kind of catalyst.
Yeah.
And buy the fucking dip.
Yeah. What about you, DG?
For me, like it's all about being planned. If I'm sort of focused and at my best, so I'd say good morning. I'm at my desk by 8, not 8:30, not 9. Like kind of go for a walk, grab my coffee. Then I like to kind of pick out maybe 2 or 3 stocks where I think the catalyst is the one for the day. Obviously some days that's easy. Like if the other day Zip, you obviously know that's the one for the day. And then probably the biggest thing is writing out scenarios. So like I'll write up, gap and go, gap and fade, morning drive, long or short depending on what's in, say, the quarterly. But I find if I don't kind of visualize each scenario, when one of them plays out, I can't, like in the moment, I might not be quick enough to adapt.
Okay.
So for me, it's spending sometimes, 10, 20 minutes actually, like I'll write out like the levels, if it can't hold the open and then drops on volume, that's the moment to hit it.
Yeah. And are you writing? Are you actually like write? Have you got like a notepad there that you write this down on?
Yeah, like I've got I was handwriting it for a while, but I just put it in Evernote now, and then I kind of leg that into like the post trade write up as well.
Yeah, cool.
But like Zip the other day, I think I planned a long and tried it long, but I also kind of noted like the level it was gapping to was that PayPal, the Apple buy now pay later news. That was where it opened that day. So I was like, if it does fail here, it might actually be a gap and fade.
Right.
And just like writing that out and planning it meant like when it did fail to open print, was sort of quick enough to adapt. But if I didn't actually go through that process, I probably would have just watched it drop and miss it, sort of thing.
Yeah, dope. I like that a lot.
Yeah, like I feel like they're your best trades, right? Like where you've planned out, big catalyst. These are the possibilities, and then you know what you're going to do, and then you do it. Like it's pretty straightforward. And that's probably one of the things I've learned off you guys in the last few months, whereas before I was like pretty scalpy, like to be a bit more considered.
Yeah, and even like pre-planning size, like I want to be this many shares. I want to hold this many for the core. I want this many just for cash flow scalps. So need to start planned. And then a bad morning would be like sleep into 8:30, get to the desk at 9, be dicking around on like chat rooms, not write out a plan for one stock, have 3 or 4 on screen, and then just make a few shitty little paper cuts and go, oh, that was pretty average.
and then sign off or just watch for the rest of the day?
I usually stay around. I've been trying to play golf once a week, midweek though, lately, just to keep a bit fresher, like not just to kind of reset if it's a slow day. But otherwise I'll hang around and try work on like, even if you didn't trade a stock, if you kind of notice it after the fact, maybe try write it up like how you could have traded it. Stuff like that.
Do you find that like obviously your best morning is when you've planned that stuff out and when you've gone through that whole routine? But do you feel like there's ever situations where like if you kind of like are a bit flustered and well here's the thing, do you stop yourself from trading if you've got to the screens late and you haven't gone through that process?
Nah.
you trade regardless, but like
I'll say I'm not going to trade if there's nothing, but then you convince yourself there's something when maybe it wasn't all that much in the end.
I hear you.
Yeah.
All right, beauty. Well, let's keep moving on along. And so we got managing winning emotions versus losing emotions. And I think this is kind of similar because we're talking about like the difference between a perfect morning and a poor morning. I think it's to me, I feel like winning and losing emotions can affect me the same way. Just on different ends of the spectrum. So like if I'm winning, if I'm like crushing it or like I'm feeling like I get a bit cocky sometimes, my ego kind of gets a bit ahead of me. I'll start like getting real big size for no reason, or I'll start chasing stuff. I'll start thinking like I'm untouchable, but which obviously has a negative effect on my performance. The same thing with losing emotions. If I'm losing, if I'm trading bad, then I'll start revenge trading. I'll chase stuff. I'll dive into stuff. Do you guys find similar things? Yeah,
so I feel I'm a bit hit and miss kind of with that. Like lately I've been like, I think we were talking about this earlier, like the luck versus skill thing. I find I get most frustrated where I take the wrong trade and get my ass kicked in it. Like I think CSX the other day, like took the match, there was like no protection behind it, just fucking ripped against me kind of thing.
Yeah.
Did the same kind of thing in the reject shop like the month before that. Like that kind of stuff like tilts me really bad. So I think like understanding what drives that emotion, like understanding where whether it was the right or wrong trade, it is a big factor in whether like I end up getting frustrated with it or not. Right. But I find I'm getting better and better at managing it at this stage. But yeah, I still find like there's days where I have lapses and it kind of snowballs. Where the winning side of things, like if I have a few good days, I kind of like just try to remind myself in the morning, yes, you've had a good run, but you just got to come in and you just got to focus on whether there's actual opportunities to take versus like, I'm just going to come and smash and make money because that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, and I think that's what you spoke about earlier, being present, because I think that's what being present gets you. It gets you like I'm in this day, I'm in this moment. I'm not in yesterday where I made money. I'm not in yesterday where I lost money. I'm here, and if you can just like do your best job to reset every day, then I'm not by any means not talking from experience because I suck at this, but I think like you seem to do well with it, Chris, or but it's definitely something we can attest to as being something that works. Is if you can let go of the previous day, if you can come into that next day and be totally present, be totally aware, and only play the cards you've been dealt, like what's right in front of you, then you're just going to be. I know you're going to be more successful, but you're also going to feel better about yourself because you didn't try to bring any extenuating circumstances in. You just fucking played what was in front of you. Maybe it doesn't go the way that you want it to, but like that's just the fucking name of the game.
Yeah, like for me, it's I haven't struggled with that much. Like each day is kind of like a new day for me. I show up and I trade based on the opportunities. I'm not too concerned about, unless I've had like a really rough patch, then I'm just kind of like, well, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Beauty. DG?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, maybe a little bit. I struggle if I've had a really good patch, and then the market goes quieter. I think I'd try to force the home run thing a little bit, maybe for a week or two before I kind of realize, oh, you know what, the market's changed. Yeah, like I think, yeah, a few times after those really good patches, I've either been giving back like open profit just by refusing to take profit because I'm like, nah, like this has got more in it. When it, the tape might be telling you it's like the move's over. And then I guess on the flip side, I don't think I'm too bad with like, if you have a losing run, sort of feeling like you have to make it back right away or anything. But I do find I'm definitely probably a bit of a confidence trader. Like when things are going well, I like stuff just flows. You're in and out of stuff sharper. You're probably just trading more in like that flow state.
Yeah.
Once your confidence goes, then say like you've had 2 shit weeks, there might be a good setup, but you might hit, terrible size, and then, or you might just hesitate in that moment where you need to push. So I find confidence probably is a bit of a factor. But I guess it all comes back to self-awareness, like, just like kind of recognizing the market conditions, recognizing when they change, and also like people say size back when you've had a rough patch, but also if that right opportunity comes,
you got to be ready.
You got to give yourself permission to hit, with appropriate size, and that, I guess, that circles back to mental capital. Like if you take all these shitty paper cuts, then it might lead to you missing that big trade because you hesitate when you should have just been ready, sort of thing.
Yeah, bloody oath. I think mental capital, that is such a, like, I think that phrase is probably one of the most important things that we can be thinking about, right? Like as traders, or maybe even fucking just as human beings, like, because it's the same shit. It's like choice fatigue, or like
how much shit you can put up with, kind of. Like,
but you gotta be prepared. You gotta give yourself that room to deal with the important shit. It's like the analogy of like filling a jar. You don't put the sand in first, because then you can't fill it with rocks. You know the analogy, right? But you put the big rocks in, then you put the little rocks, and then you fill the rest of the space with sand, not the other way around. You've got to deal with the important stuff first. And I feel like if you're chopping around in stuff that you shouldn't be in, a la me and FDV yesterday, then you don't have as much mental capital in the bank for when the right opportunity's there, a la Zip yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, fucking oath. All right, well, I reckon we'll do a couple questions and then we'll fuck off, Because, we've all got shit to do.
Yeah. Fuck
head
off
to the
where,
pub.
mate.
Fuck off where?
I'm sitting in my bedroom on my Fox bedspread sheet having my fifth beer. I've got nowhere to go.
Undies, yeah?
No, I've got track pants on.
Trackies on. Dope. Yeah, but I what do you reckon? A few questions, boys?
Yep.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, dope. All right, well, if anyone has any hectic questions, no ADN questions, okay? If you've got any hectic questions, I think you can request to ask them, and then we'll get into them. So we've got Craig. Craig here has requested, I think. How do I add a speaker? There we go. Craigie, how you doing, mate?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
Good stuff. No, just wondering your views on the market overall. Obviously, we've run. It's been choppy. What's your sort of prognosis on the market? And I'm a commodities guy, so I follow a lot of commodities, macro, and then bring it down to sort of spec stocks. So that's me.
Beauty.
But just wondering what your thoughts are on market and commodities overall.
Yeah, beauty. I'll let one of the smarter blokes answer that because I've got no fucking idea.
Fair enough.
I'll let Chris answer that.
I mean, pretty much what Sav said. No fucking idea. Like, my area of expertise, my edge is like intraday stuff. Like, I can give you my opinion, but it's probably worth not much. I reckon we're near all-time highs, and you're going to have the Fed, the RBA, continue to bail us out whenever shit turns bad. So it's going to keep chopping along until there's something outside of their control that's going to push it down. But with rates near zero, can't see how markets come under pressure unless there's a big external factor.
So Craig, just for context on us, mate, we're all intraday traders, and I don't think any of us are exactly experts in the macro stuff or really. Yeah, we just kind of we all trade off
price action.
Price action.
Like a lot of our trades are only a few minutes long. So
scalps. Yeah, I've done a bit of that with gold, like commodities at night.
I wish I could say something super smart here for you, Craig.
That's all right, mate.
Unfortunately, I cannot. But thanks for stepping up.
No, it was good to hear about the psychology stuff because it's a huge part of what we all do, really.
Oh, bloody oath! Yeah, so, and it's like it's valuable in any walk of life. Doesn't matter if it's day trading, swing trading, or even whatever you do. Like trying to unlock your own psyche and trying to level up your own awareness is something that we should all be striving for. So yeah, it's cool just to just have a bit of a chin wag about it.
Yeah. Good to hear you guys anyway. Have a good weekend and stay safe.
Appreciate it, Craig.
Thank you, mate. Thanks, Craig.
Thanks, Craig.
Cheers, guys.
All right, who we got? Any more questions, lads? Who we got? We got here. We got a speaker. Who we got? I think this looks like Bo. Is this backflip Bo?
Yo, what's going on, Sav? How are you?
Dr. Zip, baby.
Yeah, what's happening?
Just having chin wag, bro. How can I help you?
Actually, I wonder if you guys could share on talking about genuine selling versus what's algo and noise in the market, if that makes sense. So like a motivated seller versus, say, someone working the spread or some meaningless buys and sells just hitting and causing noise.
And are you just talking about selling or buying as well?
Both. Yeah, both.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you probably, if you want to see a motivated seller, go back and look at Zip on that day after the article about the strategic investor in the first half an hour. Just got pumped. That's a motivated seller. It takes experience to see that on the tape, but that's probably kind of what you want to be looking out for, like bids refreshing back, feeling like it just didn't want to lift.
Yeah.
That's kind of like my idea of a motivated seller. The other guys can probably add some more.
Yeah, I'd say for me, like whenever something's super weak against depth, so like I don't know if you use Spark, but when the bids, when the bids are a lot bigger than the offers, but the stock can't bounce, and then the seller will just like rip through 5 or 6 lines on the bid. They might go like passive and then let the bids reform, but don't really let it bounce and then go again. But yeah, so I guess like Zip's a good
it's
example.
A great one. Yeah, that's a great one.
Where it's like 5 to 10T on the offer, no more, but then there's like 50T on every bid and it's still just collapsing.
Right, because what I've noticed is when there isn't so much pressure, it seems like the seller will wait for the book to fill up a bit more. And I'm just wondering, is that something you notice too? Like it sort of seems like the cup's filling up and then bang, they're wiping the next kind of sprint.
Yeah, I think for sure like an algo or a seller will take liquidity, then step off it and like let the book form again and then just go again. Like it's no point for them to just monster it for an hour straight. Although like that's kind of what happened on Thursday. Yeah.
And the other thing that I've noticed, sorry to cut you off, you go.
No, you go.
One thing I've noticed is, say you get these real quiet periods. So like you've seen a big sell off and there's just there's not many orders hitting the book. It seems like in these times, there's almost an algo listening to seeing if there's any buyers so they can back off a little bit and let them come to them before the next dump. I just wondered if you'd noticed something like that.
I haven't.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's right.
Maybe, I haven't. Maybe because I haven't been paying enough attention, but yeah, that's just me.
Oh, no, that's good. Just great. Yeah, okay.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Bobo.
Thanks, fellas.
Have fun, G.
Thanks, brother.
See you, mate.
Have a good weekend, mate.
Thanks, mate. You too.
Thanks, mate.
Who's up? So we've got Luke, and then we'll have JB. JB, I'm sure, has a flaming question to ask us. Can't wait. Luke, how are you? Oh, did I remove him from speaker? Fuck, sorry. I don't know what I did just then. Oh, there he is.
I think he's muted.
Luke can no longer speak. Oops. Invite to speak. Oh, maybe he was muted. Hello, Luke. Luke. Luke.
Yeah, you got
there,
me?
Buzz?
You got me?
Talk to us.
Sweet.
How you doing?
Good, mate. Love your work.
Appreciate it.
Just a question on sizing up. So, for example, that Zip short the other day, if you had that thesis that was going to be a short and you wanted to go full noise based on that thesis, do you put your full size on straight up and then sort of, if it goes against you, do you take that full size off and then get back in when the book sets up? Or how do you manage those big catalyst trades with big size?
I think that's you, DG.
No,
the Zip the other day.
Oh right, yeah. So I'll never add full size straight away unless it was like a match where there was ridiculous protection in the order book behind me. But I'll usually go 2 or 3 ads and I'll just add as it starts working, especially like as you get kind of momentum and the wind's at your back. And then I'll probably cut it in 2 pieces as well. So I think for Zip, I went 75, 72, 65 in terms of like adding to the short. And I think the 65, I was risking 70 and the other 2, I was risking 80 in terms of sort of using levels in the book and the early pivots and the price action. But yeah, I found the best way for me to size up was always like adding as something started working, rather than trying to go full ball straight away and then getting squeezed out or sort of being a bit too antsy if you go all at once.
Yeah. Yeah, right. No, I just find it interesting. I struggle to add after the initial entry, even when it's going my way. And it's just something I've always wondered about you fellas that throw big size around, how you manage to keep in that big size. Like, yeah,
Well,
especially in things like zip that are so whippy, like it's so easy to get whipped out. How much pain do you take?
I think if the setup's right and the protection's there, and the catalyst is strong enough, you got to be willing to take some pain sometimes. Like I think, depending on, I don't remember the specific levels from the other day with DG, but I'm sure there was at least a couple of ticks in there that he was willing to take before it eventually started working. I think it just depends on how much you start off with and whether or not you can afford to go those ads. Like, are you starting off with what 50% of your size and then looking to add?
I try and go full size on a good match setup. That's where I tend to have the most success, or that's where I'm confident to put on more sizes in a good looking match. After the match, I just don't have the confidence because the books sort of thins out usually when it starts moving.
I would say that, like, me and DG kind of trade a little bit different. I kind of, if I'm actually piecing in and out of trades, it's actually me trading when I'm trading at my worst. So I tend to go full, like, all in and then all out. So that's kind of my preference and how I've been kind of taught to trade. I'll get all my size in. If I'm committed to something, I want to be as big as I can, as early as I can, get the maximum move that I can see in the tape, and then get the fuck out with all of my size, because I like to secure profit. I like to see it on the screen there, and then I can just move on and find my next opportunity. So we kind of trade a little bit different in that regard. I think there's both ways can work, but they're both different strategies. And it just depends on what you want to do. You don't have to necessarily add. You can just get to your full size and then get out straight away, take your money and move on. Yeah.
Yeah, like I kind of struggle with the same kind of thing. Like, if I'm not in for the match, then I kind of need to see, a bit of protection in the book, whether it's like a reloader or something like that to add or to initiate the trade. So something like Zip, where it's like really spready, and I find it difficult to jump into that.
Yeah. Beauty. Thanks, Luke. Does that help, mate?
Yeah, mate, it does. No, it's good to hear. We all seem to have the same struggles.
Yeah, bloody oath. Beauty.
Yeah, like there's no right answer with any of this, right? Like that's why trading's so fun and so hard at the same time.
Yeah.
No, thanks, gents.
No problem. Thanks, Luke. Appreciate it, mate. All right, so we got big JB up next. JB, what do you got for us? So JB was on the tinnies earlier, saying that he was getting his bad question juice up.
Trying my best, boys. Got to catch up with you guys.
Shake and bake, baby. Shake and bake.
Shake and bake. Yeah, I was going to get those as my custom plates for my car, but I just drive a Honda, so it wouldn't be pretty cool. I just look like a flog. Question for all three of you: what was your welcome to trading moment where you sort of go, "Fuck, this shit's hard"? It's going to take a lot of time and effort to master.
Ooh. That's a good question. Welcome to trading. Fuck. Does something come to mind for you two?
I thought you were going to ask, welcome to trading. This shit's mad. Like, I want to keep doing it.
Bit of a G up.
It's a G up.
No, because a positive one. Your monster's some trade, and you go, "Oh, I'm a fucking legend. This is my full-time gig," and that's good too.
Welcome to trading.
Mine was actually after my worst fucking week. So I think it was March 2020. Had been at it for 4 months.
You went to
started like COVID.
Box party the weekend prior, yeah?
Yeah, fried my brain, didn't sleep all weekend. and yeah, kept trying to buy Flight Centre because COVID won't have any impact on it because it's got plenty of cash on the balance sheet. Being a FA genius. And then, yeah, that's actually when I started chatting to Sav. He gave me a call, gave me a bit of a pep talk, during my one of my darkest times. And then, yeah, pretty much market was fucking. I was sitting there thinking like it's going to take. It was like a 4K drawdown, but I'm like 4 months into trading or whatever. So for me, it felt quite big. And then next week the market's insane because of COVID. And by the end of the week, I was, out of drawdown, like 3K up, thinking, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe I can do this. And yeah, just kept grinding.
Just out of curiosity, Chriso, how much have you made since that phone call?
Let me have a look, mate. I'll get the spreadsheet up.
Get the spready out.
Yeah, she's been all right because that was the last one. I was saying that, like, I was talking about the sizing up thing with some of the guys today, and I was actually like, that still is my biggest drawdown, and it was only like 6K, and I'm like, it's kind of like a bit eye opening, but I'm a year and a half later, and like, really should have been pushing more size since that point. Like, it's not, yeah, almost 192K since then.
192K since that phone call. Fucking oath. Must.
Or you, mate.
Yes.
Key insights.
Yeah. Little pat on the back.
Percentage, or
yeah, have I got a little cut of that or what?
Little clip.
Yeah. Post lockdown.
Little clippy.
It's all yours.
Beauty.
Yeah. Friday night
nice. Out. JB. So my welcome to trading moment. God, I don't know. I've had so many. It's been a bit of a train wreck of a trading career so far. The highlights are equally matched by the lowlights. So, but I think definitely one day trading PBH, it was thin as fuck. I thought this is my time to be a man. It gapped up like maybe 100% or something in the pre-market, and I hit 10,000 units at like, I don't know, maybe like $11 or something, and then it ended up ripping another $2 from there, and I think I was like minus 14 or 15K in the trade, and they're about to shut me out of the position, it ended up, I just kind of added a little bit on the way up, and then it ended up kind of just hitting the top there and started rolling, and I basically I don't think I got square on it, but I got most of it back. But I was shitting my pants, something fierce, and I think that was my moment when I just kind of looked in the mirror and I was like, "Welcome to trading."
Very good.
Yeah, nice. All right. Is that it, JB? Any more questions?
Oh, well, I've got another one, but the topic's off limits, so.
Yeah, beauty. All right, well, I'll remove you from the speakers now then. All right, see you, JB.
See you, Josh.
Thanks, guys.
Anyone else with any burning questions? I think we've done pretty good, guys. I'm pretty happy with our effort today. We're looking at least an hour into this chat, and if no one has any more burning questions, I think I might just fucking pull the pin, because we all have shit to do tonight. So, at the last second, we got Alex tries trading. He wants to have a little chin wag with us. Alex, we're connecting you up here, bros. Alex, how are you, mate?
Mate, how are you?
Welcome.
Hey.
Living the dream, mate.
Oh, well, that's good. You're not dead? COVID hasn't knocked you on the head?
No, not yet. Still here.
Oh, congrats. Can any of you big daddies get access to shorts after cap raises?
Nah. They're pretty much, I can't. They're pretty much.
Nah, when there's a raise, it's pretty hard to get access to. Yeah. We're not that big.
Yeah, even the biggest of daddies, I don't think can. You have to be a real big daddy.
Like a Nick Fabio.
Yeah, Fabio. If you're like a Nick Fabio, or like maybe he's not even a big enough daddy. No, but to be honest, Alex, no. The answer's no. Sorry, G.
Okay, cool. Cheers, dudes.
Sorry, bro. But enjoy the rest of your weekend, mate.
Yo, cheers.
All right. Well, I think we've done. What do you reckon, gents? CG, DG.
If there's no more questions from the audience,
mate, I've got nothing to do. I can stay here all night.
Yeah.
So the thing is,
telethon.
I'm trying to catch Chris. He's on 8 beers and I'm on 5, so I'm trying to accelerate, but I can't get him.
Are you up to 8, Chris?
Yeah, I'm losing steam, mate. Yeah.
You sound mighty lucid.
I know. I'm good at drinking. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm good at drinking too from the 3 a.m. WhatsApp.
What do you reckon? What do you reckon you're better at, Chris? Do you reckon you're putting beers away or making or shit posting? What would you reckon you're better at? I put this to Fab. I put this to Fabio one time. I can't remember his answer though. It might have been shit posting. Oh no, it was definitely beers.
I think yeah. Beers at my prime.
Beers in your prime, yeah.
We'll have to give it a go once the lockdowns are over in 2025.
Yeah. I can't wait to get up there. I mean, obviously I'm from the Central Coast, so all my family are there. I've probably got family right near you, eh? Yeah. They're all up that end of the coast.
Beautiful country, mate.
Yeah, it's great. I'll so Craig wants to ask a question. We'll get Craig in here. See what Craig wants to say, and then we'll go to Philip. Craig, you there, mate?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
mate.
Gotcha.
That's all right. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Just a quick side question.
Go for it.
Guys, I was going to ask you who your top Twitter guys were for, ideas, and if you use that, and also what's your personal opinion of this Barv Dip guy? The pumper, don't they call him?
Yeah. All right, let's have I'll cross it over to Chris O.
Yeah, not going to touch that one.
Not touching that.
I think my feelings are pretty
clear.
But
what about people for ideas
though? Yeah. I mean, the guys that post their results and, they're talking about psychology and the process and things like that, they're the guys that you're going to learn things off.
Totally.
Guys that are spruiking stocks to you and shit like that, it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Like, they're doing that for a reason. They're not teaching you anything if you want to be a successful trader or investor. So, yeah, you can probably look at my profile and see the kind of guys that I follow. That would probably be a good place to start.
Yeah, bloody oath.
Yeah, for me, I found, people that post their results and, like, when you're learning, just to see what stocks they watched that day and then, go to that stock and try to figure out why they watched it. Then Austin Mitchum posts report cards. And I found the way he sort of thought through trades appealed to me. So I kind of tried to gravitate towards that style. I found that probably the most helpful for me.
I don't have a comment on Bav. But yeah, I think you just stay away from guys who are trying to push something. I think anyone who's trying to show you something, or not show you something, but give you an insight into their journey. I think anyone who's trying to give you an insight into their journey, I think that's the key kind of difference. If someone's trying to push something onto you, then you probably shy away from them. But sorry, Craig, I put you on mute.
No, that's all right. All good.
Oh, you're not on mute. Okay.
I unmuted myself. All good.
Oh, yes.
We're all still getting used to this.
He's in charge, mate.
Yeah, sorry, Craig. You're the boss. I thought I muted you.
No, all good. I think I muted myself and then I unmuted, so all good. No, thanks, guys. That pretty much goes along with what I was thinking you would say anyway. So
beauty.
Cheers for that.
All right. Appreciate it, Craig.
Thanks,
Have a good weekend. Cheers.
See you, mate. All right. So let's go. Who we got here? Who was? I think Philip was. Yeah, there you are, Philip. Okay. Philip. Add as speaker. Boom. Philip, what's happening, G? You're on mute there, brother.
How you going, boys?
Yeah, good, brah. How can I help?
Just a question for you three guys. I personally find myself jumping into trades, looking at the book after 10:30, only to find that, like, if it's a lit book on the bid side, only to find that I can see traders trying to do the same thing as me, and then the offers will start to light up as well. And I'm sort of getting chopped up a lot. After 10:30, are you looking more at the chart, or do you really still look at the book a lot throughout the day after the open?
Yeah, for me, I hardly trade after 10:30. Like, unless there's something there's a fresh catalyst, or the market's red hot like it was in February, and things are taking off into the close, then I kind of just try to avoid it, because it reaches a level where it's just basically chopping around. So most of that action's in the first half hour.
Yeah, and I think if you want to find clean moves, it has to be in the first half an hour, or it has to be like, it doesn't have to. Sorry, it should be in the first half an hour. It should be much later in the day. I think just in that middle of the day, there's kind of, obviously the market's done like a bit of price discovery in the first half an hour, and then it kind of it's just kind of everything is kind of in line for that middle period. So it's kind of like there's, you're not going to get the volatility that you need. So I just feel like, I mean, we tend to stay out of that middle section just because we just kind of get chopped up anyway. So
fair. Yeah, fair enough. I just find myself looking at the book a little bit too hard and thinking, oh yeah, geez, this potentially could be a great trade, like in terms of when it's lit on the bid side.
Yeah.
Only to find out
if I'm going to trade anything, Yeah, sorry. Finish what you're saying.
We lost you there, mate.
Philip.
All these offers start to jump in the book, and I'm like, oh, what's going on here,
Philip. All right. Sorry, Philip. I just had to remove you. I couldn't hear you, mate. It kept on cutting out.
I think what he was talking about was basically trying to read off the order book. Especially in that spec kind of space, there's a lot of dodgy stuff that goes on. So, it's not as simple as there being more bids than offers kind of thing. You've got to, spend the time watching the screen and understand what's actually going on.
And I think the further the day goes, the more I'm probably trading off of the chart. Not like I'm referencing the chart first. Like,
yeah, I agree.
At the beginning of the day, I think, in the first half an hour, the chart probably doesn't mean as much. But the further the day goes, the more I'm probably relying on chart first, then order book. So sorry, Philip, I just had to cut you off, mate. It was just real choppy, but thanks for tapping in, and hopefully we could answer your question a little bit. Leona.
Leonardo? That doesn't matter. It's not my name anyway.
No. Leona it is.
Leona. Oh, no. Hey, lads. How you going?
Good, thank you. How are you, G?
Yeah, good, man. Good. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Just thought I'd say that. Yeah. Just had a question. I had a bit of trouble with the volume earlier, so I couldn't hear everything. So I apologise if you sort of covered this. But what do you guys how do you guys approach the psychology as far as, do you look at it like, okay, I've got to try and be a stone cold bit of a psycho, as far as, fear, greed, and all the rest of it? Or do you look at it as, look, I've got to recognize this is how I'm feeling, and then I kind of take a sort of approach where I'm sort of, almost looking down at myself going, okay, I can see that I'm feeling this, I'm being greedy or I'm being fearful or whatever, and sort of approaching it from that point of view?
Yeah.
Or neither.
Yeah,
Like, I reckon there's quite a lot of variance that comes, towards your performance. So, it comes down to how you're feeling on the day. Like, if you come in, had a really good night's sleep, you're fresh, you're ready to go. Like, it's different to if you've got all this other shit going on in your life that you're trying to manage at the same time.
Yeah.
So I think, it's a bit of an awareness of all of that feeds into how you actually approach things, or at least in my case.
So, Leonardo, you're talking about like the difference between being an analytical person and a creative person. Is that what you're trying to get at, or?
Look, maybe that has a little bit to do with the way the mind works in that respect. But I just feel like I can remember sort of thinking when I first approached training, I was like, okay, it sounds like I've got to be like a sociopath and just not get emotional about anything. And then I'm like, maybe that's not quite right, because if I'm just like some stone cold psycho, I'm not going to know when to let go. Like, and so now I approach it like, okay, I try not to get, like you said, you were talking about, Chris, you were talking about sort of being prepared and your routine and all that. And so you're calm but aware. I think maybe self-awareness is sort of where I'm trying to reach a peak of performance in that respect. And for me, it's only really sort of started to happen lately in the last sort of few months. I've been working a lot, so I haven't been trading every morning. But for me, I definitely find that I'm peaking when I've got the right balance between that.
Yeah, I think it doesn't really matter what camp you fit in terms of like stone cold sociopath or like, creative kind of, whatever. I don't think it really matters where you fit there. It's all to do with like your relationship with yourself and your ability to tap into that awareness. And on a daily basis, it's like, how quickly can I tune into what's happening right now and what's happening in front of me, and how good am I at actually listening to that and following through on that. And I think, some people are better at it and some people are not as good at it, depending on kind of what they've done in their lives and how well they've tuned that over their lives. Like, if you spent like if you're someone like me who's kind of spent, the majority of your adult life, not listening to your instincts, then you're going to get to, 32, trying to figure out trading and still having that guy sitting under the surface making decisions for you. So it's only, like I'm 2.5 years into my trading journey, but I'm 32 years into my life journey. And I'm only right now, like at this very second, and I'm talking in the last couple of weeks, really trying to get in touch with my awareness and my ability to shut out noise on a daily basis. Like, it's very, very, very easy to get up in the morning and go from A to B to C to D to E, and then get to the end of the night and go, what the fuck even happened today? But like because life just does that. Like, and that mentality of like not being actually clued in to the micro movements in the day is the same mentality that affects you as a trader, not being clued into the micro movements in the chart and in the book and in the subtext of an announcement or whatever. It's the same thing. It's like, if you're not aware in the rest of your life, then I'm not saying it does carry over into trading, but it definitely can. And I think just trying to turn up your awareness in everything that you do, it is only going to lead to good things.
That's a good point. Yeah, I think I remember reading something, I don't know if it's Bella or someone else, but like talking about all the stuff that you've done in your life that's affected you, whether it's some massive breakup or, a fight or this, that, the other, it's all going to affect you in some way or another if you let it.
If you let it, 100%. 100%. But if you can kind of get to the screen, shut everything out. I mean, like, it's never going to work perfectly. And I know for a fact that, like, I trade my worst when I got they kind of go hand in hand. When stuff is happening in my life that's not that great, i.e., break up or moving house or whatever, that definitely does kind of flow on into my trading. And I guess vice versa as well. If I'm trading bad, I then go into the rest of my life feeling like shit a little bit and talking to my brother with a little bit of attitude. And but I think if you can just like in everything that you're doing, just trying to turn up the awareness and just going like, what I did doesn't have anything to do with what I'm doing, and just do my best at whatever that thing is at that moment. The bigger picture is going to work out a lot better.
Yeah, nice. Awesome. Yeah, thanks, guys. Been lurking a bit and been watching you guys do well over the last sort of couple of years and whatnot. So keep up the good work. It's awesome.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Cheers, Leon.
Cheers.
Thank you, Leonardo. Cheers, bro. Sorry, I didn't mean to say Leona. It's just that, like, when you see the little names, it says Leona because it's like cut off the Ardos bit. Anyway, I don't have to explain myself.
Mate, I see Leonardo smoke.
No, you're the host, mate. You can do whatever you want.
I don't know what device you're using.
Fuck. No, it's because I'm on my phone. And all the names are condensed. So for Nick, for Nick, for example, all I can see is Nick fuck, which is so strange. All right. Any more questions? Any more questions? No. Okay. Beauty. Well, Chris, DG, thank you very much for giving this a crack.
Mate, good to chat. Good to have a social event
pleasure
for the evening.
Yeah, fucking oath.
Yeah.
If like we'll kind of debrief on it a little bit tomorrow or whenever. But yeah, if you're would you just be keen to maybe do this again next week? I think while we're in lockdown.
Definitely not. This is horrible.
Yeah. All right. Well, maybe we'll
lose
do
my
it
number
again. Yeah. Sorry, G. I'll do that now. All right. So that's your official answer. Okay, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. All right. Fuck me then.
No,
we can trade him out.
We go again.
Now, I'll get. No, it's cool, DJ. I'll get someone dope in here like JB or Joshy Evans. I'll get one of the real guys in here.
JB can pump his stock.
JB can fucking
pump the book.
Pump the book.
Pump the book.
Yeah. All right. Well, hectic. Thanks, lads.
Yeah. Have a good.
It's been
good Friday, everyone. Enjoy a few beers or whatever.
Yep. Stay safe. Lockdown. Few beers. Few too many.
Thanks to everyone who joined us. I think we ended up having up over 100, 130 odd at one point, which is fucking pretty good.
Yeah, good times.
Hopefully someone learned something, and we might give it a crack next week. But everyone stay safe, enjoy your weekend, and we'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, cheers, boys. Have a good one.
Cheers,
Thanks,
lads.
guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.